Education is one of the basic and universal children's rights. Now, when a child is suffering from a long-term illness, it's important that this right is still standing. That's why 15 years ago I brought together a few people to start up the NGO Bednet in order to enable children to be connected to their own classroom and their own teacher. We worked together for a few years with technical specialists in a project, and we developed the system that we call synchronous internet education. How does the Bednet system work? The child, which is in isolation at home, has a laptop with scanner and printer, and in the classroom we have a desktop or a mobile device with scanner and printer and a camera that the child can maneuver to zoom in to the blackboard or to see what's happening in the classroom, or to capture all the activity in the classroom. Now, when, for example, the teacher who has a microphone, when he wants to discuss something in the class, the child can push a button and in that manner raise its finger, and then the teacher can talk with the child. It can participate in small project groups in the class. So it's very important that the child is still learning, can go in this way with its classmates and with its friends to the next level, the next class, the next year. 90% of our Bednet children goes with the classmates to the next year. But what is also very important is that there's again social activity with the peers in the class. And that's very important because it's not only the learning, it's the empowerment of the child that has to fight a very severe illness, that is isolated, the empowerment of this child to fight the disease, and the fact that again it can talk and play and learn with his friends is very important for those children. Synchronous internet education is for all children and youngsters until 18 years old. We also have toddlers from 5 years old onwards. And there are different pathologies, all sorts of very huge diseases. For example, cancer, heart diseases, lung diseases, chronic diseases. But also we have some teenage moms who have to stay at home with their newborns, and they also can make use of Bednet. From a few years ago we start getting more and more children and adolescents with psychiatric diseases. So in 2006 we started with 37 pupils. We kept growing and growing, and in 2015 we felt that it was a time to start talking to parliamentarians and to the Minister of Education in order to ensure that synchronous internet education was embedded in the educational system. In 2015 it was embedded in a decree on education that every child who suffers from a long-time illness or who is in a revalidation program has the right to get synchronous internet education, SIE, and from then on we could move faster because the government gave us more funding, and we went from 350 children to 500, 600, 800, and now 1,000 a year. So that was a very important step in developing this project for sick children. Why is the Bednet system unique, and why does it differentiate from other systems? That's because the big systems are one-to-many systems. The educational systems are one-to-many systems, and Bednet is a many-to-one system. So the child that's isolated at home is incorporated in the warmth of the class, where the teacher and all the pupils are sitting together and interacting. And we bring that lonely, isolated child back into the classroom, where it can fully participate. And that's very unique in Europe. The European Commission, some years ago, put us forward as an example for education for long-term sick children in Europe, because we managed to do that. Bednet has a good partnership with the Belgian government, with Parliament, with the Ministry of Education. But it's very important to stress that we have a very good partnership from the beginning with Proximus, an internet provider, and they see to it that the connection between the child at home and the classroom is made. So their technicians go and fix that broadband connection. That is very important because we don't only work for children and parents who can afford it. Our system is free for the parents and the child, free for the schools. It's very important because it's a basic children's right. The mobile unit is very important for the secondary schools because there the classes move from classroom to classroom, and now we are developing a very handsome and handy mobile unit. They can take everywhere and plug in all of the classes the child needs to be. So that's one of the new developments we take care of. To develop a technical project is one thing. To find the children that could benefit from it is another. So from time to time we do communicational things. And one of the big feasts every year is our National Pajamas Day, where we try to move all the schools and classes to come on that day to school in pajamas, in support of all the children who are ill at home and who have to wear pajamas very often. And it also grew in the course of the years, and now many schools. 1 out of 5 schools in Flanders operate with Bednet, and many schools have that lovely Pajamas Day each year. Children who suffer from a long-term illness they don't only live in Belgium. Everywhere in Europe there are long-term sick children. So we would love to cooperate with European partners to help children all over Europe.